It's not so easy being green is certainly an understatement when it comes to Haruki Murakami's Midori. The protagonist of best-selling book Norwegian Wood certainly does not have it easy. She is often reduced to simply the other woman or just one of the protagonist's girlfriends. On the surface of things, Midori and I have very little in common, except, maybe, that we appear lively in comparison to Deathbent Naoko, the other female protagonist of the text. But that is hardly an accomplishment. What can millennial me have in common with a 19-year-old fictional character in 1960s Tokyo? Logistically speaking, we were both born in Tokyo. We both went to state schools as kids until we were both put in private all-girls schools that our parents would continuously struggle to afford. We both met long-term boyfriends in private sixth forms. We both agreed that university is utterly freeing in comparison to those private schools. Where our paths diverge and Midori's life takes a turn for the tragic is in her family life. Her mother dies from a brain tumor 2 years prior to the events of the text, and contrary to her initial claims that her father has run away to Uruguay, her father is dying of a brain tumor in the hospital when the events of the novel unravel. No one in my immediate family has died of a long-term illness, though, that having been said, there is a history of skin cancer and Alzheimer's beginning to surface in my grandparents. Yet, none of my grandparents are miserable in the face of these illnesses. They're more blissfully unaware and cheerful than I have ever seen them. To Midori, her parents' death reflects their undying love to the point at which they die of the same cancer, and her father reveals that he would much rather have lost the two of his daughters than his wife. I have the other extreme. There's so much divorce in my family that it seems more of a genetic trait than anything else. But the family bonds in my family run deeper than anyone else who I've talked to. But when all is said and done, Midori is the only fictional character whose zest for life parallels mine. Unlike Murakami's other female characters, including Naoko, Midori's sexuality does not become her defining characteristic, and her sexually explicit debates with Toru, the main character, remain surprisingly platonic and enthusiastic up until the end of the book, when she demands more stability and emotional availability from the ever-so-neutral Toru. This is where I relate the most to Midori's characterization. While I definitely do not share her obsession with porn cinemas or her blatant infidelity, reading a female character who is unafraid to mention periods, her sex life, smoke boyish Marlboros, speak frankly about her life, and day drink is refreshing. Following on from the title of the song, she is indeed the sort of rare and realistic female character who would sit on the rug, biding her time, drinking her wine, and talking till 2. Between her discussions of sex pirates and impulsive decisions to climb trees in miniskirts, she pushes the boundaries of societal norms and normalizes supposedly taboo topics in the 1960s the way that I hope I do in 2019. Overall, besides the 60 years or so that separate us, we are both still exposed to the same old standard songs, Puff the Magic Dragon, 500 Miles, The Beatles, the same 20th century jazz, the same literary classics, the same trashy convenience store magazines. We are both still women navigating sexualities, gender norms, and student protests in revolutionary times. All aspects of life that have become immortal between the years of Midori's youth and mine.